Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Joe, and today I want to talk to you about how to choose a Bible translation. Now, I'm not an expert in the field, so I'm just going to share with you my thoughts and the process that I'm using or have used. So, the first thing that I want to say is what is the bottom line? Not just for Bible translations, but for us as disciples. I think the bottom line for me is I want to be transformed in my heart and in my mind and in my soul. In the scriptures, we see something that's pretty key. Jesus was asked by a Pharisee, "What is the greatest commandment?" And many of you remember what he said. He gave the Pharisee two commandments. And the first one, he said this: "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind." And that's a key phrase there. I think the idea is that everything that you are, all that you are, is to worship and to glorify God, your heart, your mind, and your soul. So, my goal in the mornings and when I do my morning devotionals is to be submitted to God so that whatever He brings up in that time leads to or adds to personal transformation. Because I do want my heart, I want my soul, and I want my mind to be transformed. Okay, so what are the three questions, or what are the three things that I think about when it comes to Bible translations? Well, or choosing a Bible translation. I have three questions that I've been using and that I have used in the past. The first question is this: what connects my head and my heart to God the best? And this really is about personality. What is your personality? Are you more cerebral? Are you more emotional? Are you more traditional? The point here that I want to make is connecting with God in the way that God built you, the way that He built and created you, your personality, your leanings, the things that you favor. For me, I really like being with God or engaging in the scriptures in a very intellectual way, in a very cerebral way. Even though I'm not super intellectual, I like my mind to be engaged. And for me, the translations that work really best are the NASB, the New American Standard Bible, and the ESV, the English Standard Version. And those are two translations that you would call formal translations. So, first thing, what connects my head and my heart to God the best? Now, for you, your personality may be like, hey, I love the NIV, or I love the CSB because of the way the language is, or maybe a looser translation because, hey, that's your point in the morning. You don't want to have to think about too many things, but you want to connect your heart right away. That's awesome. I think that's great. I think whatever connects your head and your heart the best to God, that's a great question to start with. So for me, yeah, what connects my head and my heart to God the best? Here's my second question. What is influencing my decision in choosing a particular translation? And I would say this: don't let anybody bully you or forcibly influence you into a specific translation. Why? I think I think followers of Christ, I love people who are faithful in the Word, people who love to dig into the Word. But I just find that there's certain followers of Christ, and I've been guilty of this too, that we become very passionate. There's certain followers of Christ who are very passionate about a certain translation. And I've been that way, and I regret it. I think when I've experienced those times when I'm so tunnel visioned into one particular translation, I just negatively influence somebody towards a specific translation. And I have to be careful about that, right? So, question for you is there somebody that's bullying you, even, or influencing you towards a particular translation that maybe you're not okay with, or maybe that you don't like? Don't let anybody push you in that direction. So, block out the noise, right? What's influencing my decision about a particular translation? Here's the third thing: what is my ministry context? And this is an important thing for me. I'm a pastor, I'm a teacher of the word, and I have to ask myself this question: which translation is going to make the most sense for my ministry context? Now, for you, maybe you should ask yourself this question: are you discipling somebody? Is the person that you're discipling a new believer or a more mature believer? Which translation would work best for the two of you? Or maybe your church teaches a specific translation. That's okay too. Another important question is, do you evangelize? Which translation works for you or has worked for you in the past when it comes to reaching out to people who have never heard Christ? For me, I minister at a church, or I serve at a church that primarily uses the NIV. And I have a love-hate relationship with that, truth be told. But I've grown to appreciate that translation. I think there's some really good things about that translation. So, on the one hand, my church teaches out of the NIV, but I prefer a formal translation. So what do? Well, I'm in both. Actually, I might actually be moving away from the NIV and going into the CSB because I'm finding that to be a more formal translation, but also it reads very similarly to the NIV 1984. Anyway, all that to say, I have to take into consideration my ministry context. And for me, I have to think about the NIV and more of the mediating translation in choosing one for myself. So I've just kind of decided, I think moving forward, I'm going to be in two types of translations. The more formal one, as I engage in the mornings, and also a more mediating one, as I use it for my church. So I take those things into consideration when it comes to Bible translations. Again, I'm just going to go over them again. 3 questions that I've been using may be useful for you. What connects my head and my heart to God the best? What is or who is influencing my decision about a particular translation? Are you being swayed by somebody? Use discernment. And then the third thing is, what is my ministry context? Anyway, have a great day. I hope you hit the like button, subscribe, comment on this video and in my channel. Thanks. Have a great day.